All right, today we're tackling one of the biggest challenges for pretty much any business out there. How do you tap into the incredible power of generative AI without putting your security, your privacy, or your trust at risk? We're going to break down Google Cloud's whole approach for delivering AI that you can actually rely on for serious enterprise-level work. Let's get into it.
And really, this is the question on every leader's mind, isn't it? AI can completely transform how you do business, but let's be honest, it also opens up a whole new world of risks. So if you're going to get all that amazing potential, you absolutely have to get a handle on the risks, and that all starts with building a solid foundation of trust.
So that brings us right to the heart of the problem for any company today. You're basically performing this high-wire balancing act between massive opportunity on one side and some very real, significant risk on the other. Let's take a look at what that actually means.
Okay, so check this out. It's really like looking at two sides of the same coin. On the one hand, the upsides are huge. We're talking about boosting your brand, seriously improving profitability, and making your products better and more trusted. But on the other hand, the concerns are just as heavy. We're talking about the big ones. Data privacy, whether you can trust what the AI says, fairness and bias, and of course, intellectual property. Nailing this balance is, well, it's everything.
So how do you even begin to solve this puzzle? Well, it all starts with having a core philosophy. Google's entire approach is built on a set of AI principles that are designed to make sure innovation happens responsibly right from the get-go.
And this quote, I think it just nails it. It's not about being either bold or responsible. The whole idea is that you have to be both at the same time. The goal is to push what's possible with AI, for sure, but to do it while you're building in all the necessary safeguards for user safety, security, and privacy.
Okay, so principles are great, but how do you actually do it? It comes down to this structured four-step process. It all begins with diverse research, then moves into designing that responsibility right into the product itself. After that, it's all about governance, rigorous testing and assessments. And finally, it's about sharing what you're doing transparently to build that customer trust. See, it's baked in from the very beginning to the very end.
All right, so that structured approach leads us to the real meat of their enterprise offering, a framework that stands on four absolutely essential pillars. These are all designed to give businesses the confidence they need to really go big with AI.
First up, and honestly, this might be the most important one, data governance. The point here is simple but crucial. Your data is your data, period. In a world where every business is worried that their secret sauce, their customer lists, their financial data is going to be gobbled up to train some giant model for everybody else, Google makes a crystal clear promise. They will not use your data to train their models without your explicit permission. You are always in control.
Okay, pillar number 2 is privacy. And this isn't just some feature they bolt on at the end. It's what's called a privacy by design approach. That means from the very first moment, the system is engineered with privacy in mind, with user controls, with ways to anonymize data. It's part of the architecture, not just a box to check.
And then there's pillar 3, security. Think of it this way. When you build your AI on Google Cloud, you're not starting from scratch. You're inheriting Google's entire world-class security operation. It's defense in depth, which means your AI is protected by the same incredibly robust, battle-tested security that protects things like Gmail and Google Search. And last but not least, we have compliance. Look, the world of AI regulation is changing all the time, and keeping up is a major headache. This pillar is all about future-proofing your business, giving you the tools to help you stay compliant with the rules we have now, like GDPR, and get ready for what's coming next, like the EU AI Act.
Okay, so we've talked about the big ideas, the principles, the pillars. Now let's get down to brass tacks and look at the actual tools that make this whole secure AI ecosystem come to life.
One of the most powerful concepts here is something called grounding. This is basically the secret sauce that makes a generic AI model truly useful for your business. It's the process of connecting that big general AI brain to your specific real-time company data, what they call your enterprise truth. This makes sure the AI is answering based on what's true for you, not just what it found on the internet.
And why does this matter so much? Well, the benefits are just huge. Grounding is what stops the AI from hallucinating, when it just confidently makes stuff up. It builds trust because the answers are based on your real data, it gives you way more relevant responses, and it lets you use AI for jobs that need the absolute latest information. This is what takes AI from being a cool toy to being a reliable business tool.
Now, this next one is a huge deal for peace of mind. IP indemnification. It sounds super technical, right? But what it means is simple.
If your business gets into legal trouble over a copyright issue for something the AI created, Google basically says, we've got your back, and they take on the legal risk. That is a massive layer of protection.
And this all gets wrapped up in what's called the Secure AI Framework, or SAIF for short. Think of it as a practical 6-step game plan for keeping your AI systems safe. You start by expanding your existing security to cover AI, then you extend your threat detection, and you automate your defenses. From there, you harmonize your controls to keep things consistent, constantly adapt based on what you're seeing, and finally, you contextualize all those risks so they make sense for your business. It's not a one-and-done thing, it's this constant loop to stay ahead of the game.
But here's a really critical point to understand. A secure platform, that's only half the story. This brings us to the idea that security isn't just something you're handed. It's a team sport, a shared responsibility between the provider and you, the customer.
It's this concept they call shared fate. Basically, Google can give you the safest car on the road with all the best safety features, but you still have to be a good driver. They provide the secure foundation and all the tools, but you have to use those tools correctly and put your own smart practices in place. The whole system is only truly secure when both sides are doing their part. So, what does being a good driver actually look like in this case? Well, it means setting the rules of the road inside your own company with an acceptable use policy. It means thinking like a bad guy to find your own weaknesses. It means being open with your users, using as little sensitive data as possible, and maybe most importantly, training your people. Your team is your best line of defense.
And all of this really brings us to a final, pretty deep question. As AI gets woven into everything we do, who's ultimately responsible for what it does? Is it the person who built the model? The company that's using it? The employee who typed in the prompt? The truth is, it's a chain of responsibility. And understanding your link in that chain, that's the key to building an AI future that we can all actually trust.